Happy spring! It's a new astrological year, animals are coming out of hibernation, and so is this YouTube channel. I'm so sorry. It has been a long, messy, cold winter. Let's just leave it there. It is a beautiful, rare, sunny day in England today, and I thought what better time than to sit down and chat with you guys all things spring. Now, full transparency, I am not typically a spring girl. I know, shocking. I feel like it's kind of difficult to guess what my favourite season is, but it's not spring. However, I thought that I would go out of my way to romanticize the living hell out of this season. I have spent the last few weeks tapping away on Pinterest, making the biggest spring Pinterest board. I didn't have a spring Pinterest board before this, just to clarify. I had one for summer, I had one for winter, I had one for fall, obviously, but not spring. I feel like I have been neglecting it. It is a lovely season and it's a lot of people's favorites. I feel like I have not been giving it the opportunity to shine. So, like I said, I have been tapping away, making the biggest Pinterest board ever, and I have been compiling, planning, scheming to put together this video where we are going to be covering all things romanticizing spring fashion trends, hobbies to try, activities to plan, movies to watch, books to read, the whole 9 yards. So grab a cup of tea, grab a snack, and let's get chatting all things spring. First up, let's talk all things spring fashion. Another season that I feel like I have neglected in my wardrobe. And I wasn't even sure what was trendy for spring. I feel like I switch my brain off when it comes to fashion, unless it's fall and winter. AW, when they talk about the different drops and stuff, I'm not fashion savvy, I'm sorry. I switch my brain off after that's gone. Like, that's the only time my brain is on and paying attention. When it comes to like summer wardrobe, she's lacking, okay? I tend to avoid the sun like the plague, and so I've never been one to embrace summer fashion and spring fashion. So it was nice to dip my toe in, have a look around. I feel like there might be some online shopping to do, and so if I do, I will definitely bring you along with me for that. But I just thought I would share some of the things that I've come across, things that are trending this year, things that aren't even necessarily trendy, but would be good staple pieces for a spring wardrobe, in my opinion. So as far as colours that I've come across, I feel like it's baby blue, powder pink, pistachio green, and butter yellow. I feel like they're the four most common colours that I've seen this season, which is great. I love all those colours. Yellow is an out there one for me, but seeing it, how people style it, specifically with browns and greys, I fear I might need to grab myself a butter yellow piece. The cardigans specifically, I just feel like they go with so many different things. Like I said, they look gorgeous with browns and greys, but even with dark wash denim, I think it's beautiful. Powder pink, baby blue, pistachio green, again, I feel like my like earthy girl side loves that colour, loves all things green. Before these were pink, they were green. I had a lot of green in this room, and I'm living for the colour. Truly, I love a light. I've learned in myself, and I don't know if this lighting is going to like properly show it, but I think I'm a light summer palette. When I did the little online quiz, I don't know how accurate they are, and I've learned that wearing colour is good for me. My wardrobe has been for many years very neutral and very dark, a lot of browns, a lot of burgundies, a lot of black, and I'm learning that's not what best suits my features. So I am trying with colour. She says wearing white. I have seen some of the most beautiful chunky knit cardigans in like these powder pink colours or these like baby blue colours. Even like certain accessories in these colours, I feel like they're great if you tend to have more of a neutral wardrobe. The next thing that I'm seeing quite a lot of is gingham. I feel like this again is quite like what I would typically associate with being classic spring, because the pattern kind of reminds me of a picnic blanket, but in the best way. But I've seen some really cute matching gingham sets that are so adorable, but my favourite is the gingham shorts with the hunter wellies. Talk about classic English countryside fit. Stunning. I love them. I don't live in the English countryside, but I only live a stone's throw away from it, and I can appreciate it. I love everything cottagecore in that sense, and it is giving cottagecore English farmer girl vibes, and I'm here for it. I do love it. Whether or not that would actually be an appropriate outfit for spring in England, I can't speak to that. I feel like you'd probably be a bit chilly. I won't lie. I feel like maybe that's more summer, but if you're in America, you would probably get away with that just fine, depending on what state you live in. Okay, next we have a kind of controversial one, and it is none other than the Canadian tuxedo. And I'm talking like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I never thought I'd see the day where I said that, because I for the longest time was told double denim was just a fashion no-no, but I'm seeing more and more of it, and I have to say I'm on the side of the Canadian tuxedo. I love a good double denim, specifically dark wash double denim, and then accessorized with pops of colour. I think that like having a monochromatic fit like that with pops of colour is just, you wear that, you look like you hopped off a Pinterest board, if you get what I mean. The double denim with red accessories as well. I feel like, again, that pop of colour, it's giving fashion icon. Next we have a white maxi skirt. White skirts kind of scare me. Any type of white bottoms low-key scare me because I am a very clumsy person and I just feel like I'm gonna spill something on it and I'm gonna be walking around and not knowing that I've sat in something and it's like all over my... However, the fits are so cute and I fear I may have to get one myself and just suck it up and be extra careful because I feel like you can style them so many ways and I feel like it's a great piece to carry across into summer as well. But the next one is cardigans, and again I feel like this is a necessity if you live in like a, I wouldn't say England was a cold climate, but a very unpredictable one where you could be freezing in the morning and then sweating your off in the afternoon. So I feel like a cardigan is great because you can on and off it. But again, these cardigans and these pastels, they just look stunning. This last one is really out there. I feel like no one wears these in the spring, but like florals.
Florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
I'm kidding, but I am a sucker for a floral in anything, specifically in dresses. Hollister, that's all I'll say. No, that's not all I'll say. I never just say that little. Hollister have the most amazing dresses. They have the most amazing clothes. I feel like 90% of my wardrobe is Hollister. I just love it. I cannot walk in there without wanting to buy every single thing in the shop. I just really love their clothes. Truly, I really do. And they're such good quality as well. And their dresses have pockets. Need I say anything more? But they have the most gorgeous floral pieces, tops, dresses, anything. If you're looking for that is a hard sentence to say. If you're looking for a floral, Hollister, check it out. This is absolutely no way sponsored by them. I am a walking billboard. I love them. But anyways, I feel like any type of floral for spring is great. Even accessories that are floral, like bags and stuff, adorable, so cute. Again, I feel like these are transition great into summer as well. That is everything for the fashion section. That is everything that I have managed to surmise from scrolling hours on Pinterest. Now to get on to my favorite section, the hobbies and the DIY section. I am so beyond excited about this section because this is where I'm in my element, okay? I am a hobby girl. I love little activities. I love little DIY projects that I can do myself. I just love being creative. And so I have compiled a list of cute little things that you can make or do or little hobbies you can pick up in this season that I just feel like scream spring. Number one, I just talked to my sister about doing this because I think it's the cutest thing ever, but having a colouring picnic. Now, I feel like colouring is taken off on TikTok. It is truly the best hobby. I love it. I have been doing it for years. I find it such like a mindless thing, especially if you're someone who likes to be creative but sometimes gets a little bit overwhelmed by having to pull an idea out of your brain and draw it. But I recently got the Ohuhu markers, which are the viral ones, and they are truly amazing. Before that, I just used the regular Crayola Super Tips. But if you really want to get serious about colouring and do all the little shading and shadows and stuff like that, then I would definitely recommend them. But if you're just like looking to just do it for fun and kind of like have it as a brain off hobby, I feel like it's great. Specifically the idea of doing it outside with like picnic mat. Me and my sister were talking about going to the local park and getting some snacks from the store, taking our colouring books, taking our pens and just sitting there basking in the sun. There'll be blossom. I'm just getting excited even thinking about it. I will have all of the colouring stuff that I use linked. I've got Amazon storefront in the description if you want to check any of it out. The next one is flower pressing. I haven't done this since I was a kid. I'm so excited about doing it this year. Please, I will preface this, don't pick them from people's gardens. I feel like they won't appreciate that. But from your own garden or just wild ones, like as well, especially ones that people consider weeds. I don't think anyone's going to be mad at you plucking those and pressing them. But I have seen the cutest things people make with these pressed flowers. So one is bookmarks. I think you can get the ones where they're almost laminated, so you put them between the little sheets and it pinches it together and it makes it so the pressed flower is protected in this laminated pocket. But I guess you could also just stick it on a piece of paper and Mod Podge over it. I feel like that'd be so cute. And the other one I've seen is people making these candle jars. I don't have, oh, it's over there. You see, I don't know whether you can see that, but it's like a jar that I've got a candle in it, and people have stuck the pressed flowers to the outside and then gone around it with a Mod Podge type thing. And so when the candle's inside, it just like the light goes through the flowers and they look beautiful. Like I said, I will have all pictures up on screen so you can see what I'm talking about because I feel like I am not doing a good job of explaining myself. You can either just like do flower pressing for the sake of flower pressing, put them in your journal. I feel like that'd be cute, but there are some really cute little DIYs out there that you can do with flower pressing. The next one is baking. I feel like every season I come across, I'm like, it's baking season. But truly, I feel like spring is the best time to bake, specifically things like bread and cakes and scones. Yes, scones, not scones. I feel like I've seen so many of these Victoria sponge cakes on Pinterest with flowers in them. I just think they're so cute. Or anything like lemon and blueberry. I just associate those flavors with spring and I'm not too sure why. Like a lemon blueberry scone or a lemon blueberry loaf. That'd be great for spring. I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh, I saw these cookies on Pinterest. Did you just forget the name of your favorite app? I saw these cookies on Pinterest and again, I feel like, I don't know whether America has anything that is somewhat similar to mini eggs in the UK, but I saw these mini egg cookies. I feel like these would be delicious and like great for Easter. Next we have crocheting. Crocheting yourself a cardigan would be a great thing to do. However, if you are slightly newer to crocheting, and this is probably something that's more my league as well, is these granny square picnic blankets. I feel like this would be a great thing to start now because especially now it's just the 21st of March, so the weather is not that warm, so it's not really like picnic season. So I feel like starting it now would be great because by the time we get to like May, June, when it's warm enough to have a picnic, you will have your own picnic blanket that is completely unique to you. Like I said, there are so many crochet crafts out on Pinterest. I have like a whole section on my Pinterest board for them, so if you want any inspiration, my Pinterest is always linked down below. If you've never tried it before, I feel like it's quite beginner friendly. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. This one I haven't tried, but I really want to because I keep seeing them all over Pinterest. It's these pipe cleaner flowers. I think they're so cute. Some people get so creative. I think I saw somebody make some bluebells with them. I think somebody made hydrangeas. I just thought the talent, and it's just with pipe cleaners. I have a vase on my windowsill. Don't get me wrong, flesh flowers. Ooh, that's a scary concept. Fresh flowers are lovely to have, but they can get kind of expensive to keep repurchasing them because you are essentially just buying them for them to die. Fake flowers are great. I've got some little peonies. Yeah, completely fake. The idea of making your own with pipe cleaners. Again, I feel like pipe cleaners are pretty inexpensive from a local craft store or even just off Amazon. And there's like so many tutorials out there on YouTube and on Pinterest. I've been saving them because best believe I'll be trying it. They look so cute. They don't look too tricky. Famous last word. I feel like this would just be a really cute thing to do, especially around spring or summer. The next one is jigsaw puzzles. And again, I feel like this is quite a fall hobby that can transition well into spring because April showers bring May flowers, and again in England we get March showers, April showers and May showers and June showers and July showers. Pretty much showers all the time, but on those rainy days I feel like it's lovely to stay inside and a jigsaw puzzle. There are some really cute ones of gardens and flowers and things like that. Something about the reward process of finishing a jigsaw puzzle, the dopamine is off the charts, and I just feel like a jigsaw puzzle would be a great thing to do in the spring, or even if it is a nice day and you have an area outside where you could do it outside. I feel like that would be so cute because it's not going to blow away because they usually have kind of some weight to them. When I think of doing jigsaw puzzle in the spring, I think of doing it on like a rainy April day and the flowers are getting good water and I'm inside with a cup of tea doing a jigsaw puzzle with my crocheted cardigan. I think of everything based off vibes, in case you haven't noticed, and I just feel like the vibes would be vibing doing that. Anyways, and the last one on our hobby DIY list is painting flower pots. Again, not something that I have done, but I feel like this would be a really great thing to do in spring. I have some seeds up here of seeds of tomatoes, seeds that grow into tomatoes. Tomato seeds? There we go. That's how you say it. I have some tomato seeds that I've been meaning to plant, but I think the idea of getting a flower pot and painting tomatoes on it, or if you had any other like vegetables or herbs that you wanted to plant, painting them on the actual flower pot, I feel like that would be so cute. Or even just getting those wildflower seeds and planting them and then painting flowers on the flower pot. I feel like that would be so cute. I just think it's such a good idea. It's so creative. I think it's great. And again, I feel like it'd be kind of inexpensive to do. And so that is definitely on my list for this year. Up next, we have activities. So these are like bucket list items to put on your radar, put in your calendar for this season. So number one, I can't tick this off yet. However, I have booked it and it is go to a tulip farm. I see pictures of these all over the internet every single year and I had no idea I had one. Well, it's not close, that's kind of the point. I didn't know where my closest one was, and it's not close by any means, it's going to be a drive, but we've booked tickets. We are going on my mom's birthday because she loves tulips and her birthday is in April, so that will be getting ticked off the bucket list. Have a little photo shoot and see all the tulips and just like, I just think it will be so beautiful. So have a look, you might be surprised, they might have one closer than you think, There are so many flower fields out there that are open to the public that you can just visit. So I would definitely recommend, because I feel like they are so cute to explore in the spring season, especially to get pictures and just, I don't know, just enjoy being around the flowers. They always smell so good as well. The next one, I don't think I'm gonna actually be able to do this year, but I love the idea of it. And that is a spring tea party picnic. I think these are the most adorable thing ever. If you have like enough friends to do it with, unlike me, I feel like this is a cute thing. I could probably do it on my own. I feel like I could do it on my own, have my own little tea party. But I just feel like this would be so cute, especially if you have like a birthday in the springtime. Having this as your birthday party, I feel like it would be so cute. Dress up in cute little dresses and have a tea set, have it as a picnic. Oh, I just feel like it would be so cute. So that is definitely something I would say to add to your bucket list if you have the means to do so, because I feel like it would just be the cutest little activity to do. The next one, again, I feel like it's touch and go if I'll be able to actually pull this off, because we're currently having our bathroom done and I'm so excited for it to be finished because I haven't had a bath in so long. That sounds horrible. I've showered. I just haven't had a sit down bath. I can't say that. Anyways, so whether or not I'll be able to pull this off, I'm not sure. But having a fancy bath with rose petals or flower petals of some description, light a candle, read a book. I don't know, like I said, it's still a little bit chilly in the mornings and the evenings. And I feel like having a bath, specifically in the morning in spring, would be such a cute thing on a weekend, maybe like a Sunday morning bath. And I'm already excited. It's not even done yet and I'm already excited because I want to do that so badly. Having crystals and things like that, like rose quartz, and like I said, scented candle, having a bath tray, maybe having a cup of tea on it or a matcha, and just relaxing in the bath, play some music, and just, my imagination is running wild. It just sounds like it'd be the best. So if you have a bath, Sunday morning bath with a nice drink, some music, some candles, and extra points if you have a bathroom with a window where the sunlight coming in, because I feel like that would just top it all off, to be honest with you. Next we have one that I should be able to accomplish and I am putting on my own bucket list, is making some kind of like spring drink, but you have to make it intentional. So actually planning this day I'm going to make this mocktail or this type of tea or this type of matcha, because I feel like any drink you drink in spring could be a spring drink. So making it an intentional experience, I pinned this graphic on Pinterest, I'll put it on screen, with some ideas, drinks for March. I'm a sucker for these kind of graphics I see on Pinterest. I just think whoever illustrates them does such a beautiful job. Any sort of like mocktail drink, if you drink alcohol, go for it, make it alcoholic. Any type of tea, there are so many loose leaf teas out there to try. I feel like that would be so cute. Even experimenting with your matcha flavours, the strawberry matcha. I think Starbucks have started doing a lavender matcha, so even if you don't want to make it yourself, maybe go get yourself a spring drink. Okay, so this one's going to depend a little bit on where you live. This is going to be easy to do if you live in the UK. I don't know. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know if there's like, if you guys have bluebells in America. I feel like this probably states that do. But bluebell season in the UK, they are gorgeous. It's so magical. I feel like a little fairy frolicking. Feel like a little fairy frolicking. Okay, that's not my fault. That's really hard to say. I dare you to say that 5 times fast. Feel like a little fairy I feel like a little fairy frolicking. 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 That could easily go so bad. Anyways, yes, all that to say, the bluebells. If you can see them, make an effort to go do so because they are gorgeous. The next one is visit a farmer's market. I feel like what better time to visit a farmer's market than spring when everything is blooming. Again, I saw a graphic on Pinterest. I can't remember off the top of my head what vegetables and fruits are in season, but this graphic said so. And I feel like being able to go get some local fruit and veg that's in season, bake something with it, or just going for the experience, I just feel like it would be such a cute little Sunday or Saturday, depending on what day your farmer's market is, activity. Going to get brunch and then going to the farmer's market or vice versa. I just feel like it would be so cute. I didn't think I had a farmer's market near me, but all I needed to do was Google and I do. It's a little bit out of the way, but it'd be worth it one of the weekends just to go and tick it off my bucket list, you know? So, okay, this next one is probably not going to be exciting to people who aren't like me, but I hope if you're here you are like me and you love a good spring clean. I know, but there's no better time than to just clean your environment, new energy, new space, and declutter. Get rid of clothes that you no longer wear, donate them, clear out your makeup, get rid of anything that's expired. And then my favourite thing to do, and this is how I romanticize cleaning, is I will put oil in my hair, wear a hair mask or put on my shit clothes. Ones that are bleach stained, ones that are just like wholly just rank. And I will clean and I'll sweat my ass off cleaning. And then when I'm done, I treat myself to something, whether it is a drink, whether it's a certain type of food. It's usually like a big bowl of pasta. And then I will have the everything to end all everything showers. I'm talking the whole 9 yards. I'm washing my hair, I'm shaving, I'm moisturizing, I'm fake tanning, I'm plucking my eyebrows. And you might think, oh, that's a lot for a day, and it is. But when you go to bed that night and you've changed and washed your bedding and you've had a shower and you have shaved your legs and you get into that bed and your head hits that pillow, not only are you going to have the best sleep of your goddamn life, it's all going to be worth it. Truly. And I look forward to it every single time. So try it. Have a spring clean, declutter your environment, clean up your environment, and then clean up yourself, because you're worth the time and it will make it so much more sweeter at the end of it. The last one, which is something I am yet to do. I have so many playlists on Spotify. My Spotify's linked down below if you want to check them out. They're very niche. I like to make playlists that are super niche, but I feel like it'd be nice to make one specifically for spring, but like a specific spring vibe. I've seen some really cute playlist names on Pinterest, and just adding to that playlist throughout the season, having these songs kind of embody spring, and then when you listen to them you'll be like, oh, that reminds me of spring. I feel like that would be so cute. Add a little playlist cover. On to movies and TV shows to watch for spring. Now when I think of spring, I think of romantic comedies and romantic historical dramas. They're the two genres that come to mind for me. Now again, full transparency, I'm not a rom-com or a romantic historical drama kind of girly. I am a horror thriller girly. I find other types of films a little bit difficult to get through, I won't lie. I love the suspense of a horror film or a thriller, and when like the stakes are lower and it's just mushy gushy, I tend to switch off. There are certain ones that I do enjoy, and I want to force myself to explore some other genres of film outside of what I would normally reach for, because you don't know these things till you try them. So some of these I've watched, others I haven't, but they are on my watch list for this season. So first up we have Bridgerton. I have watched this and I loved it. It's amazing, specifically season 2. If you know, you know. I believe it is based on a book series by Julia Quinn, and it's centered around the Bridgerton family and their 8 siblings finding love. Each season centered around a different member of this family. And I believe there's another one coming out this year. I feel like there's been one that's come out every year, but I think that because they're set around the debutante time, which I think is May, I believe, they just have a very spring feel to them. I don't know, something about them, especially living in England, and like it has that very English feel to it. I don't know, it reminds me of spring every time, and I do love it. Again, as far as period drama goes, don't get me wrong, I feel like they're not very historically accurate, so if that's gonna bother you, but they are engaging, they are really fun to watch, and the romance. I'm talking friends to lovers, enemies to lovers. Like I said, season 2 with Anthony and Kate. If you haven't watched it, girl, you got to. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Next, we have Pride and Prejudice. I feel like this is a classic, but again, it's so good. Keira Knightley killed that role. The tension, again, the setting of it. I'm not 100% sure what season this is set in, or if it goes across a couple seasons. I haven't watched it in so long, but again, I feel like it's very typically English, and I don't know, it gives me spring vibes. It really does. Any sort of Jane Austen gives me spring vibes. Notting Hill. I haven't watched this, but it's on my list. It came up in the spring movies to watch, so I'm not 100% certain about how springy this film is. You could let me know in the comments if you've seen it, but it's on my list. I feel like from what I've seen of it, it has quite springy vibes as far as the cinematography of it. And again, I feel like this is quite a classic as far as Julia Roberts' film. I feel like a lot of people have seen it. I'm not one of them, but I need to catch up. So that's on my list. Next we have The Secret Garden. I haven't watched this since I was a kid, so I'm really looking forward to watching this again. I just think it gives spring vibes. Any images you see of it, I just feel like it's very quintessentially spring, so it's definitely on my list for this season. Little Women. I don't think there is a season in which I won't recommend this film, because it's set across many years and so many seasons are featured throughout it, but there are so many scenes that are like in the spring. Meg March's wedding, and that scene, I don't know, I feel like it was probably set in summer, but it gives spring vibes. Next is Anne with an E. I loved this TV show. I watched it a few years ago now, and it is like, I just love Anne, she's great. great. I think it got cancelled, which I was really sad about, but the seasons that are out I think are really great. Again, I feel like it's very spring. It's one of those ones that's set across many seasons and years, so there are a lot of seasons featured within it. However, I feel like primarily there's a lot of spring, and again, it's like anything English countryside, I'm automatically associating with spring. The next 3 are rom-coms that I feel like everyone's seen except me, so I feel like I need to watch them to kind of like, I don't know, I'm just sick of being that person that's like, oh no, I haven't watched that film that everybody's seen. So these are ones that are on my list. Again, they came up in these spring movies. The sign's on the door. On this door. What's the tiny phone? Pinterest graphic, but are also films that I hear about all the time, and I'm sick and tired of being that person. I've never seen it. So the first one is 27 Dresses, the second one is About Time, and the third one is How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Now again, can't speak to if these are even remotely, if spring is even remotely involved in them, but I feel like spring is rom-com season. I feel like some people might disagree with me and say summer is, but I actually personally think that summer is horror film season. Summerween, just me. I can hear you peeing in the background of my video. That is everything that is on my spring watch list. Moving on to books to read in spring. I'm gonna break this down into fiction and non-fiction books because I am partial to both. I know some people are very strictly like one or the other, but I like to mix it up and I like to read both. So starting with fiction. Some of these, again, I've read, others I haven't, and they're just on my TBR for this month. The first one is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have just downloaded this on my Kindle and I'm very excited to read it. I have heard really great things about it. I feel like the cover is just giving spring. Again, I can't speak to what season the actual book is set in, but cover is giving spring. I don't know a great deal about it. I think it's a romance. It's like a fantasy romance, I believe. Next is A Court of Thorns and Roses. That entire capcut series is amazing if you've never read it. It was like one of the first proper series like that I read as an adult into reading, because I felt like I read a lot as a kid. Like a lot of people, I feel like I read a lot as a kid and then I stopped in my teenage years, and then as I became an adult I started again, especially with the rise of book talk and things like that. It was like one of the first book talk recommendations that I had and I loved it. But The Court of Thorns and Roses, again, I feel like because it's set in, if you've not read it you're gonna be so confused, but it's set in the beginning in the spring court. Again, if you've not read it, it might sound kind of crazy, but if you have, you'll know what I'm talking about, and it has spring vibes. Next is, again, not one that I've read, but it's on my TBR. It's Picking Daisies on Sundays, and this is purely from the cover. Just looks spring to me. I don't know anything about it. I read the blurb. It wouldn't be on my TBR if I didn't know a little bit of what it was about, but I've got no clue if it's anything to do with spring, but it's purely the cover that just makes me think of spring. So that's on my TBR for this month. If you read it, let me know what you thought of it. If you've read any of these books, let me know. I love chatting about books with people, even though I'm terrible at explaining what happened. So I almost need you to have read it to get what I'm saying. Next is Love Theoretically. I have read this one. I love Ali Hazelwood. She is amazing. I feel like I hear mixed reviews on her books as far as some people love them and some people hate them, but personally as a STEM girly, I love them. I love all her science ones. I think they're great. Again, sometimes I know her writing can be a little bit cheesy and it's the cliches and stuff like that, but I have to say, if you can kind of look past that, they're amazing. I don't know, I've been reading them kicking my feet and giggling like little girls, and I just think they're really cute. So if you're looking for an easy romance, a very casual, just like regular fiction, they're really great and easy reads for the spring months. The next one, again, I feel like this could also apply as like a summer book, is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I listened to the audio, I literally can't stop smiling like I listened to the audiobook of this not too long ago. I love Emily Henry's books, but specifically the audiobook versions. Any of her books that I've listened to as audiobooks have made them 5 stars to me. I don't know why, something about them being read to me by someone else. The person that reads the books, I just listened to them on Spotify, the person that reads the books, the way that she does the voices and stuff, I don't know, I sound like a kid, but they just, I don't know, something about them. I just think that I feel transported to another world, and I always finish them so quickly because I just get absolutely sucked into them. But Beach Read, definitely one of my favorites. Just amazing. Set very spring, summertime vibes in Michigan, I believe, and it was just everything. I just loved it. Honorary mention, funny story as well. Again, not specifically like a spring book, but so good. If you have tried reading Emily Henry's books and like you kind of find the writing a little bit hard to get into, I feel like they're easy reads, but sometimes she has a very like conversational tone to the way that she writes, and sometimes it feels like it's reading a script, that having it almost read to you, it's like a TV show in your head. It's amazing. This next one has literally only just come out and I have been dying to get my hands on it. It's The Strawberry Patch Pancake House, I believe, and it's like a continued series from, I think it's Dream Harbor is the setting, but it's the same author and the same series as there's one called the Cinnamon Bun Cafe, I think. Cinnamon Bun Bakery? I'm not sure. I have not read that one. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Christmas Tree Farm, I think. They're all very much like small town romances. Like I said, I've only read 2 of the series, which is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Christmas Tree Farm, but you get almost cameos of the characters throughout the books. I don't know, I just think it's really well written. Again, they're really easy, very low stakes, just like cozy, warm, kick your feet giggling kind of romances. So I'm really excited to read the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. That is such a mouthful, but again, I feel like in the name, it just, even the cover I've seen it advertised, just looks so spring, and I just feel like it'll be such a lovely book to read this time of year. The last one is one that is a little bit out there, but I was just researching books to read in spring, books with spring vibes, and one that kept coming up that I'd not heard recommended before but was continuously recommended for a spring book is House in the Cerulean Sea. And again, I know nothing about this book because I've never heard even anyone mention it before, but so many people mentioned it as like a great book to read in spring that I feel like I need to mention it and add it to my TBR, because like I said, honestly, every single video was like, this book is spring, this book just reminds me of spring. So now I'm intrigued and now I want to know why. So that's on my TBR and I shall be reading it, and if you've read it, let me know what you thought of it down below without spoiling it, please. It just had really good reviews, so I thought, why not add it? Okay, next, non-fiction. Again, I feel like going into a new astrological year and just like this fresh start is a great time to do it, like some inner work, some self-development and things like that, and I am a sucker for a self-development book. I always feel so motivated after I finish one, so I'm just gonna go through a few of my favorites. First one is The Mountain Is You by Brianna Weist, I think her name is. Forgive me if I'm messing that up. This book is so amazing if you feel like you get in your own way. Very much like a therapy session in a book. It has you kind of, it's almost like, am I the problem kind of vibe, but it's necessary, and like I said, it is such an insightful book and it really gets you thinking, so I would definitely recommend that. The next one is a little bit more of a spirituality book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I think his name is. Again, forgive me if I'm messing up any of these authors, I am so terrible with names. It is truly such an eye-opening book. If you are somebody, especially in today's world, I feel like we are so everywhere else but in this current moment, if that makes sense, and it's so easy to live in the past or live in the future, and I feel like being able to be present is such a skill that we've lost as a society. Not to get all deep, but it really brings home just the power of being in the current moment, and I feel like what better time than to embrace that energy than in this kind of season to sit back and smell the flowers, watch them bloom, take a moment to appreciate everything around us and the changes in the weather, the changes in the season. I just feel like it's a really great book to read for this time of year. The next one is Good Vibes, Good Life by Bex King. This is very much a manifestation book. I feel like really breaks down the mental side of manifestation, I think. And again, I feel like manifesting this time of year, especially as we enter this new astrological year, and with so much of the year still ahead of us, I feel like it's a really great time to kind of learn more about it. It goes into detail a lot about how the energy you put out is what you attract back to you, and so living in good energy gives you a good life. The next one is, sorry if you can hear that, my sister just got in the shower. The next one is less of a spiritual book, it's more of life skills, and that's Girls That Invest. I love this book. I love everything that it stands for as far as increasing female literacy around financial education. That is something I'm so passionate about because there's so many gender roles associated around money. I'm very blessed to live in a country in which there are definitely financial inequalities as far as earning but also education, but nowhere near like there is in other countries. And so for me, being able to read this book is such a privilege, but the fact that she's written it and it's available in so many countries across the world, I think that is amazing, and she does such a good job of breaking it down in a way that is so digestible and understandable. Even if you know nothing about money, about anything to do with financial literacy, she does such an amazing job at breaking this down in a way that is not overwhelming, that's not very jargon filled. I don't know, it's very easy to understand is what I'm trying to say. And so I would 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 recommend reading it. Another one is The Psychology of Money. I think this book is so interesting because while it is obviously a financial literacy book, the psychological aspects that are woven into it and the being aware of your own behaviors and your own attitudes towards money, I think is so interesting to read it and to kind of understand other people's perspectives. I don't know, it kind of holds a mirror up to you as well and makes you look at how you view money and finances. I don't know, I just think it's really great. So again, I feel like these are great books to read in the new year, but of course this is our new year. And the last one is The Alchemist. I listened to this as an audiobook and listened to the whole thing in a day. I found it so interesting. I found it so insightful. It's one of those books you kind of have to like peel the layers. It's very metaphorical, I think, and so listening to it and being able to like almost mull it over as someone else is reading it to you, I think it's, like I said, it's such an amazing book. So insightful and motivating as well. I think very inspired when I finished it, so I would definitely recommend, especially in this new season, as far as like embracing creativity, embracing dreams, embracing goals. I feel like this is a really great book to read and kind of embrace the energy of. I don't know, I really enjoyed it and I would really recommend it if you haven't read it. And that is everything. I am so excited about this season. I cannot wait to get started with all these things. I'm gonna have so many videos coming. Like I said, apologies for my long hiatus. I am back. We're parking these past few months. Forget about them. I'm moving on, okay? So if you stuck around to this point in the video, thank you so much. And if you stuck around on this channel, like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means. Yeah. Comment this emoji if you made it up to this point in the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!